So now is a really great time for you to reflect on your past year in business. So this is 2019, and to start to get that sense of what's gone well, what didn't go so well, and what can you learn from this year in business that's going to support you with achieving greater success in 2020. So, what I would recommend you do when you're trying to reflect on your past year in business is that you have a structure to it that is going to support you with getting the most out of the information that you pull together, so that you have not just sort of an idea on a kind of mind level, an imaginary idea of how things went, but you actually have the concrete knowledge of how things actually went in practice. And of course, at this point in the year, you will have already been pulling together your accounts and filing your corporation tax, filing your tax return, and all those kinds of things. So you'll have a lot of the numbers that you need to evaluate, to be able to start seeing, how your business went over the past year in real terms, in concrete numbers, and not just in your imagination in your mind. And I find that it's really important to be clear on what the numbers are, rather than just to look at it in our minds, because that, you can't fake the numbers are really accurate, and sometimes in our heads we think we've either done worse or better than we've actually done. And it's when we look at the numbers that we get that real clarity around exactly how things have gone this past year. So what I would suggest you do to start this process is that you get your hands on all the numbers. So what I would look for is, yes, of course, the accounting numbers around what's the turnover that you've made this year, what's the revenue you made this year, but also what's the profit you made this year, and how much do you spend on your expenses, what were the costs of each sale to clients that you had. And you're really reviewing the actual numbers as well, so you get those in front of you. But I would also look for my marketing numbers. I'd be looking at what I call my KPIs, my key performance indicators, because I'd be wanting to get clear on where did my clients actually come from, what marketing activities did I do that actually led me to generate the clients that I gained, and what marketing activities maybe didn't perform the way that I was hoping that they would, because that's all going to be massively useful information for me when I'm setting my goals for 2020. So that's the first stage, is just get your hands on the numbers, pull it together as quickly and simply as you can, so that you've actually got the facts in front of you. And then I want you to look at those numbers and think about what went well. So really write down what went well. And you can also, at this stage, not just work on the stuff that's on paper or numbers, but also your thoughts about it as well, and your feelings about it, and bring that in. So what went well, and really spend some time to write that down, all the things that you were really happy with, the things that you accomplished, the things that you were proud of, and pop that all onto paper, so you're really clear about what went well. I would also pull out your goals that you set at the beginning of 2019. If you did that, if you set goals for 2019, I'd pull out those goals, and I have a one-page plan, which was for 2019, what my goals were. So I had it all on one page with my KPIs and everything, and review what went well based on the goals that you had set as well. So you're really basing it on where you were at the beginning of 2019, what you wanted to achieve then, and what you did actually manage to achieve in the year. Okay, so I would do that, and really kind of, I want you to really take the time to get in touch with what did go well, because we can very easily just want to look at what we didn't think went well and not spend enough time looking at what did work. Because of course, knowing what worked for us with our business is going to be important to helping us do more of that in 2020, because we want to do more of the things that are working. And so often we will just ignore what's been working and not know to plan into our strategy to do more of that. So this is absolutely essential. It's not just about kind of praising yourself. It's actually about really getting clear on what has been working this last year and what do we want to do more of in 2020. And so once you've taken your time to reflect on your goals, look at or write down what went well in relation to your goals, but also how you feel about it, how you think about it, then you're ready to look at what didn't go so well. And I prefer not to say what went badly, but to use the wording, what could have been improved on? Because we don't want to go into crushing ourselves, especially if we didn't have the best year last year. We don't want to start getting into sort of berating ourselves for it. We want to look at this objectively so that we can learn from it for 2020. So again, you're pulling out your goals, you have them in front of you, the ones that you set at the beginning of 2019, and you're saying, so what didn't go so well? What could have been improved on? And writing down about that. And again, looking at the KPIs, if you had set yourself KPIs, or if you didn't use KPIs, but you just said, look, this is the number of clients I want to gain, this is the amount of money I want to make, this is how much I want to take home. If you set those kinds of goals, then just look, how did you perform, and what are the things that didn't go so well? And also I would write down about other goals you might have had. Maybe you had goals around being able to cut down to doing 3 days a week, or maybe you had goals for the number of clients you were going to gain, or the amount of income you're going to make, or whatever it was. Or maybe you had goals more around being able to do a certain type of work that you really wanted to start doing rather than other work, because maybe there was some work that was going to be more fulfilling for you. So it's like really evaluate all those goals and what didn't go so well, and writing that down on paper so you've got some clarity around it. And then once you've got that information together, your next step is to really see what are the lessons that I can learn from what went really well, i.e. what do I need to do more of in 2020? Okay, so you write down the lessons and the learnings, and also what are the lessons I can learn from what didn't go so well. What do I maybe want to avoid or do less of, or what might I need to think about in planning my strategy for 2020. So you end up with a very clear document of information that is giving you clarity that will help you then in setting your goals for 2020. So you can be really clear on what you need to do more of and what you maybe need to do less of for then. So have fun with this. I absolutely love reflecting on my past year. I think it's part of honouring the work that you've done and the effort you've put in. And not everything goes perfectly to plan, because sometimes something even better arises and we can't predict that. So it's also about being grateful for what you have accomplished, being grateful for what you have created. And perhaps, if it isn't exactly what you had outlined at the beginning of 2019, just really look at what you have actually managed and get into that place of gratitude around that, because that is going to help you attract more of what you want in 2020. So best of luck, and I look forward to hearing how you got on, what came out of your reflecting on your year 2019, and what lessons are you taking forwards into 2020.